Controlling tool modes often seems frustrating on tablet computers. The user must turn on a tool and then later remember to turn it off. We devised an experiment to evaluate techniques for managing multiple tool modes in tablet interfaces. We evaluated these techniques in both a lagoon menu at the corner of the screen and for a local marking menu that is activated where the user is currently working. Like typical note-taking applications, in our experimental task, the user always starts in the default inking mode. We evaluate several mode techniques. The once technique activates a mode for one use, and then automatically reverts to inking. The downside of once is that it is tedious to repeat the same command several times in a row. So many applications instead use a persists technique, which keeps the mode on. But you must pay for this benefit because you have to go out of your way to get the pen back when you're done using the tool. This is really a pain in situations where you just want to use the tool one time. We devised a new approach called the Springboard. By default, the user starts by inking on the screen. But the idea of the Springboard is that the user employs a command button to reuse a tool multiple times. Pressing the button causes the tool lagoon to highlight. The user then selects a tool mode, here the panning tool, and then can pan as long as he continues to hold the button. Releasing the button returns to the default inking mode and de-emphasizes the lagoon. The Springboard lets the user turn any of the tool modes on the lagoon into a quasi-mode. We evaluated the Springboard in an experiment. Like the persists technique, the Springboard provides support for applying the tool mode multiple times. But it reduces the cost to revert to the default inking mode since the user just has to let go of the button. When using a tool only once, if users let go of the button too early, the Springboard might cause an error. This led us to the Spring Once design, which is a design hybrid between the Springboard and the once technique. If the user lets go of the button before applying the tool, Spring Once applies the tool once, and then automatically goes back to the default inking mode. But if the user continues holding the button, Spring Once applies the tool multiple times, just like the Springboard. The Springboard and Spring Once designs can also be applied to local marking menus that are activated right where the user is currently working. Here, the user must press the button anyway to signal that the stroke is a command rather than just ink, so the Springboard is a natural extension of this. One advantage of the lagoon design is that the user can use the button as a way to quickly switch back to the prior mode. Note that this feature was not used in our experiment. The lagoon also makes it very easy to reselect a different command from the lagoon. But in the marking menu, one has to release the button and then press it again to make a new selection. Overall, our experimental studies showed that users tended to prefer the Springboard designs. They were also significantly faster than the once technique or the persists technique when repeatedly using a tool.